everybody to Events We Like, where we tell you all about the great events because audiences want to discover great events and great personalities and experts. And today I'm so pleased to have Christoph Wyman here in the house to talk about his tour, his book tour, and all things concerning Christoph and the Wymans. And Michelle, if you're out there, thank you for letting me borrow Christoph. I so appreciate it. So why don't we go ahead and just jump right in? We have a short amount of time together. We want to make sure we don't miss a thing.
Perfect.
What's going on with you, Christoph? Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, first of all, Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You are an amazing woman who's doing amazing things, so it's an honor for me to be able to be here on your show. It's I think it's your second or third, or you're just getting started. So to be here at the beginning, I love it.
Well, yeah, and you kind of were at the beginning because how I met Christoph was there was like 75 people in the room, and this gentleman by the name of Casey, Casey Everhart, and he says to the audience, he says, "Hey, listen, everybody, there are two influencers in the room. Do you guys know who they are?" And me and Christoph didn't know each other, and we're looking around the room. And,
I didn't know who they were.
I know, and then he says, "It's Christoph and Michelle," and we're like, "Well, really?" Well, here we are, influencing people here. So tell us about your new book. I know this is your second book that you've done.
Yes.
So why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about your book, yourself, why you decided to write it. So you have the floor.
Here we go. The Customer Experience, book number 2, came out in June. And it's a book that helps that inspires, motivates, and equips businesses and business leaders to elevate the quality of the customer experience that they deliver to their customers, to their clientele, regardless of industry. We actually hit number 1 on Amazon in June in 3 categories, so super excited about that. And yes, we are, I'm going to jump ahead because you also already kind of alluded to it, we are going on tour. So between now and the second week of December, we are going to be hitting 5 or 6 cities, West Coast. We're going to do obviously Las Vegas, LA, San Diego, Phoenix, Salt Lake City, and Denver. So it's sort of West Coast-ish, right?
Nice.
And then next year, either first or second quarter, we're going to do East Coast and Midwest. And then it just came to me recently, end of 2019, we're going international with the Customer Experience Tour. So very exciting, and ask me something specific.
Well, we're all about events, and so you have been speaking at major events. Feel free to give a shout out to whoever has an amazing event that you have personally spoke at recently or even this year, because we want to make sure that they support those folks.
Sure, absolutely. Kind of outside of the realm of the entrepreneurial world, I have a good buddy, Josh Liskey. You know Josh Liskey, and he is the vice president of Kirby Midwest Division. And I was invited to speak at his big sales rally in Chicago a month ago, and they're doing amazing things with him leading that division. They're actually number 1 in the world in the entire company. Company, yes, exactly.
Well, I want to stop you right there because I went to one of your first events.
Yep, Accelerate Service.
Yes, and I was talking to someone, Lisa Criselli, and I was telling her my first telemarketing gig I ever had. I was 15 years old. And as I was explaining it, I said it was Kirby Vacuum Cleaner.
Oh, really?
And he was right behind me, and he goes, exciting. I'm like I'm
the big guy in Kirby.
I couldn't believe it. So my first telemarketing gig is with Kirby. So it's just a small world.
Yeah,
we're all connected. So tell me more about that.
Well, I'll tell you about another event. So thanks to Josh. Shout out to Josh Liskey and his team, Midwest Division, doing amazing things, inspiring, motivating those people to go for the gold, right? And to really elevate their customer experience. In fact, I now have some new clients that I'm working with in the Midwest as a result of that, bringing them 5-star customer service training via Zoom. Currently, I'm working with Jason Burke, your good buddy, my good buddy, helping him produce, kind of co-producing in a way, his new event that's coming up in November 9 to 11 at the Palms. It's called High Performance Success Summit. It's a mouthful, but it is going to be an amazing event, off the charts. I know I'm using a lot of superlatives, but really it is. First of all, we have Frank Shankwitz, the founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation, who is going to be one of the keynote speakers. James Dentley from Chicago, Mr. Chicago himself, who actually just launched the premier professional basketball league, kind of a, I don't even know how to explain it. But anyway, it's a professional basketball league that he's launched. He's going to be one of our speakers. Don McGrath from Colorado, who's in the top 5% of all mountain rock climbers in the world. And it's going to be a great event.
And because you're all about the experience, it's high performance is definitely your turf. I also have a quality control background, so I love everything concerning quality control. So we're like, we're good twin powers.
Absolutely. Standards of excellence. So let's talk about the customer experience, if I might. This book came about as a result of just years of observing customer relations and being in that arena. My wife is the ICU supervisor of a major hospital here in Las Vegas. And a few years ago, she was telling me about National Nurses Week. And so I started thinking about what that means. And she wears one of those little rubber
I read
wristbands
this in your book. You talk a little bit about it.
That says the patient experience.
Yes.
I am the patient experience. And I started thinking about what does that mean when a nurse has that declaration, I am the patient experience. When somebody has a successful hospital stay, the things that they remember are certainly not the food or their bed or the room or anything like that, and not the medicine, possibly the medicine, maybe, I don't know. But
or not.
But it really comes down to the nursing team, the people
true.
that are there 24/7 that are there caring for them. And so when they say, I am the patient experience, it's the way that they relate to that person as an individual, as not just a name or a number or an account, but they are a person, right? Taking care of them in an excellent manner. So when I started writing this book, the original title of this book was I Am the Customer Experience. Okay. And at the very end, I changed it because some people advised me that it would be a little bit confusing. Who's the I? Is it me? Is it you? And I said, you know what? We're going to just simplify it. What's the book about? The customer experience. Very simple. It's about how to elevate the experience, how to envision what type of experience do you and your team want to deliver to your customers, to your clientele. And a lot of people think, well, I have to spend my budget on marketing, advertising. Super important, right? You want to bring in fresh new leads, fresh new customers. But customer experience and marketing have to go hand in hand, and that's kind of the gospel that I preach all the time. If a company is only focusing on advertising, then they're bringing in more people, new customers, to experience what may be not an excellent experience.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. We always talk about that, especially in copywriting, how you communicate, what their experience is, how they go through each funnel. Are they having a wow, a factor? Actually,
wow.
Let's talk about wow.
My first book was called Getting to Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody wins with 5-star service, and that book is focused specifically on the hospitality arena because that's where I came from. I worked in hotels and restaurants for many, many years. Worked with Wolfgang Puck in LA for about 3.5 years for Hyatt Hotel, etc. And that book was written to elevate the experience in the hospitality arena. And it was actually when that book launched 3 years ago that I was able to start my company, Aspire Enterprises, and to go out and have the opportunity to start consulting and training and bringing hands-on training to restaurants. And now recently with the second book, we've expanded outside of exclusively just the hospitality arena. And it's very exciting. I'm excited about the tour. We're still looking for partners in each of those cities. So if you're a speaker in any of those cities that I mentioned, reach out to me. We also, as you know, in the event that you came to, the Accelerate Service event a while back, everything I do, I say, has to do with service and service. So it's service as in 5-star customer service, but then the other service is service and giving back. And so in each of those locations, we're going to partner with a local nonprofit to give them support, raise awareness, raise funds for them, and really be of service. I think a business should have that aspect in
There
their
should be
philosophy,
a give
right?
back, yes.
For sure. You know, a lot of times people say, well, I don't have money to give, but you know, we shouldn't wait until we get to a certain level of wealth before we can give from where we are right now, right? And that's what the essence of service is to me. It's giving, right? When we are serving, we are giving of ourselves, our time, our effort, our energy, our talents, our gifts. You can tell I'm passionate about it.
Well, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, the whole idea of becoming an entrepreneur, not only to, help us with our dreams and our passions and to help our, financial futures and, economically, but this country needs more entrepreneurs because the more we're doing what we love to do, the more enthusiastic we become, the more money we make.
Absolutely.
The more money we make, the more causes we can support. And that is how you change the world. We know that government can't do it by itself. We need Christoph Wyman and the customer experience, to tell every company out there that you need to have your employees or even 1099 folks, team members be inspired to really give the very best of themselves to anyone who comes in contact with them, so that you're memorable and they want to keep coming back.
And they want to have that experience,
and
right?
then you can
because
give to
what is going to, somebody opens a Mexican restaurant. Joe opens a Mexican restaurant. Susie opens a Mexican restaurant, just as an example. What's going to separate the two of them? What's going to differentiate one from the other? Very similar food, similar recipes, maybe similar ambiance, decor, but it comes down to the experience. It says at the back of my book, it all begins and ends with the customer experience. And how would it be? Can you imagine if your customers loved what you did so much so that they're out there raving about you to others, unsolicited, right? And how would it be if your business was booming above and beyond what it already is? Because the experience that your customers get when they engage your business is far beyond anything they get with a competitor.
Exactly.
And that's the essence of what the customer experience is all about, what I, Christoph Wyman, aspire to do and to bring to companies and to organizations and to events.
Well, it's who we're being is, what I want. I know we have a limited amount of time and we're definitely going to have you come back.
Oh, sure,
and,
absolutely.
And maybe bring a camera out to one of your events and, kind of see you out there speaking on tour. Because who we're being is what people remembered. And I liked your original title, I Am.
I do too,
experience.
but, marketing.
But we want clarity and we,
I don't want to have any question. What's it about?
What I want to make sure that everyone knows how to stay connected to you and get, know what the tour is. And obviously High Performance, actually it's hpsuccesssummit.com is the one coming up in November. Not your event, but you're part of it.
Actually is going to be the Las Vegas kickoff of my tour. So instead of creating my own event, partnering with Jason to help produce that, my little part of the customer experience tour is going to take place within that 3-day summit.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and make sure everyone, he's got
Here we go.
This is for his Facebook.
You can find me here.
But we actually have eventswelike.com. There'll be a whole area just for Christoph Wyman and the customer experience tour. I want to say thank you for coming today and being on my show.
I love it, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On all the amazing things that you're doing.
I can't wait. And I want to thank you for tuning in and watching this show. I have some really great surprises coming up. We have the Everybody Loves Me Challenge at worldchangers.com for to raise money for multiple sclerosis. I can't wait to get you involved and everybody out there in social media land, TV land, radio land, wherever you are. Thank you once again for being part of this and staying tuned. And I look forward to seeing you next week, where we discover great events, great people, because audience want to go to great places. And the 5-star experience, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we want. Again, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. My name is Michelle Finnegan-Nixon with Events We Like. And again, thank you so much for being here today with me.
My pleasure. Bye, everybody. Bye.